Hello, Teal Nation, and welcome to this special virtual ceremony honoring the class of 2020. I'm Dr. David DiCenzo, President of Coastal Carolina University. While we are excited to recognize each graduate today, confer your degrees, and welcome you as new alumni, please know that this does not replace your commencement ceremony. We look forward to having the spring class of 2020 back on campus in the future to participate in a traditional ceremony. As we begin today's celebration, I want to take a moment to speak to the graduates directly. To the spring class of 2020, I'm extremely proud of all of you, of what you've accomplished and overcome throughout your journey. It hasn't been easy, but through it all, this class has truly embodied the spirit of the Chanticleer, a proud and fierce rooster who is quick thinking and crafty. When a Chanticleer is faced with an obstacle, it finds a solution to the problem. And this class knows all too well what it's like to face an obstacle. Major hurricanes heavily impacted CCU each fall since 2016, bringing with them massive amounts of damage, record-setting floods, and unexpected interruptions to your classes. As a Chanticleer, you pushed through with determination and grit. You rose above it all, stronger than ever, and then right at the finish line, you were hit with a global pandemic. This was, and still is, uncharted territory, but you found a way to adapt, creating a new normal in the midst of chaos. You stayed the course, and you earned your degree. A Chanticleer always has its eyes fixed on the horizon, ready to rise with the sun and take on new accomplishments. As you leave CCU, many exciting opportunities lie on your horizon, and just like the Chanticleer, the class of 2020 is ready to rise. At this time, we would like to recognize the graduating students whose stellar academic work has qualified them for the President's Award for Academic Achievement. These remarkable students have earned the highest academic distinction, summa cum laude, because they have earned a perfect 4.0 grade point average for all of their academic work. The Spring 2020 President's Award candidates are Ramsey Claire Diven from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Art Studio. Nellie Gray Eckert from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Art Studio and Graphic Design, and is also a member of the HTC Honors College. Aaron Elliott from Fuqua Farina, North Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Hospitality, Resort, and Tourism Management. Stephanie Marie Christina Henning from Conway, South Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Marketing. Caitlin Marie Hinnerschitz from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Education and Elementary Education, and is also a member of the HTC Honors College. Haley Elizabeth Johnson from Conway, South Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Arts in English. Julie Capejohn from Annandale, Virginia, earning a Bachelor of Science in Marine Science, and is also a member of the HTC Honors College. Jillian Michelle Kushik from Clayton, North Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Education and Middle Level Education. Catherine Lynn Rumry from Aurora, Illinois, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Education and Elementary Education. Lauren Elizabeth Smith from Trenton, New Jersey, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. Emma Ryan Thompson from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Science in Exercise and Sports Science. Jenna Marie Thompson from Prescott Valley, Arizona, earning a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and is also a member of the HTC Honors College. Savannah Elizabeth Watson from Surfside Beach, South Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Education and Elementary Education, and is also a member of the HTC Honors College. and Catherine Carter Williams from Waxhaw, North Carolina, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. Congratulations to each of you on this outstanding achievement.
Hello, I'm Dan Ennis, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Coastal Carolina University. Each year, the Board of Trustees recognizes qualified retiring faculty members with the title of Distinguished Professor Emeritus, Emeritus Professor, Distinguished Instructor, or Distinguished Lecturer. These titles acknowledge the value of an accumulated record of teaching, research, and community service. At this time, Treely McCann is hereby recognized as Distinguished Professor Emeritus. McCann is a native of Rochester, New York, which exposed her to a rich tradition in the graphic arts and photography. She discovered printmaking as her medium of choice while attending SUNY Oswego. In addition to numerous solo exhibitions, McCann's award-winning work has been featured in juried international, national, regional, and selected exhibits throughout her career. McCann has served as a professor in CCU's Department of Visual Arts since 1990 and plans to continue her work as a practicing artist in retirement. We appreciate Professor McCann's years of service to her department, her college, and this university. Congratulations.
Hello, fellow Chanticleers. I'm Michael Kelly. I graduated from Coastal Carolina in 1992, and I am proud to say that. I'm also incredibly honored to be speaking to you guys today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an actor. I spent the better part of the last decade on a show called House of Cards, and recently joined John Krasinski on Amazon's Jack Ryan. If you haven't seen it, it's a good show. Maybe check it out. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get this out of the way up top. This sucks. I'm sure all of you would much rather be draped in a black cap and gown, walking alongside your fellow classmates, celebrating the end of your college years in one last hurrah before setting off into the real world to make your way in life. Trust me, I am in New York City. I would much rather be there with you. In fact, I wish we were all sitting on Myrtle Beach reminiscing about our days at Coastal Carolina. But we're not. We're here. And I'll be honest, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. When you guys started at Coastal 4, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe even 7 years ago, you were made a promise that if you put your head down and you did the work, not only would you be prepared for the real world, but well, you would get a celebration to end your college years, a celebration you would never forget. And every class before you had one, and hopefully every class after you will as well. And you didn't get one. It's not fair. It's a raw deal is what it is. So now you have a choice. You can sit here and feel badly for yourselves, which nobody would blame you for doing, or you could choose to see this as a lesson. One final lesson to cap off the last 4 to 7 years of lessons. The lesson: the world owes you nothing. You can do everything right in life and still things might not break in your favor. Maybe you miss out on that job. Maybe you get overlooked for a promotion. Maybe the person you were certain you're going to spend the rest of your life with decides they want to see other people. Maybe all the critics agree that you had one of the best male supporting actor performances of the year, and you still lose the Emmy to Peter Dinklage. Okay, maybe that last one was super specific, but I hope you follow me. It's the work, okay? The work is the important part. You may not get the result you earned every time, but if you keep putting your head down, and you keep working, and you keep pushing yourself, eventually you will find success. So, sure, this is unfair, but it's also part of life. It's a part of life it took me many years to accept as fact. And here you guys are. Most of you are in your early 20s, and you're getting to experience it before you even set off into the real world. I mean, there is something about being punched in the stomach on your way out the door and seeing yourself still standing afterwards, it gives you a confidence that usually takes years to achieve, So, I don't know, I can't think of a greater gift than knowing you can take a hit and keep going. It's understandable also if you can't see that now, but trust me, years from now, you will probably see this as a blessing. And this is coming from a guy who walked and barely remembers any of it. I'll tell you right now, 24-year-old Michael Kelly could have used a stomach punch after graduation. You know what? Here's something else they don't tell you. In the movies, when everyone throws their caps into the air when the ceremony commences, they don't do that in real life. No, in real life, you sit in the hot sun for hours wearing what's basically a light blanket while you're trying to balance the equivalent of a children's book on your head while you watch every single person in your class physically accept their diploma, which isn't even the real diploma. No, they mail that to you later. And after all that, you're going to sit in traffic while everyone who was at the ceremony leaves at the exact same time, and they all go to the exact same restaurant where there's going to be a 2-hour wait, and your parents or whoever is going to pressure you into leaving that cap and gown on. And all you really want to do is take it off and go home and sit on the couch, which you're probably doing right now. So bright side, congratulations. You're all college graduates. So high five each other the only way we're allowed to high five these days. To yourself. Sorry about that. When they asked me to give this speech, I thought it was going to be to the Edwards College of Humanities and Fine Arts. And I wrote this speech for the young artists that I was super excited to give. And I worked really hard on. And I was just really excited about it. And then I found out that they wanted me to address the entire college. And while I was humbled and extremely flattered, I was at a loss for words. Mostly because I already used all those words on the speech for the performing arts, but I didn't really think I'd be able to come up with more words. But the more I thought about it, two things crossed my mind, okay? One, they probably only asked me because if you do know me from TV, it's because you know me as that guy who was always delivering bad news to the president. So it's kind of fitting for the times. And two, I bet that I can make a few small adjustments and convince everyone that the performance arts speech is applicable to everyone. So here's the speech for everyone in terms that might seem specific to the performance arts, but I assure you apply to all of you. Pursue your dreams. I tell young actors, I tell people all the time that you have to want this more than anything. If this is what you're going to do, you have to pursue this as if it were the only thing that were going to make you happy. And if that's the case, then you have to pour every ounce of your soul into it because you're constantly going to be told no and not now and it's not your turn and we're looking for somebody with more hair. But you can't let it stop you. Okay, you just can't. People will try to put you in a box. Don't let them. Don't allow people to define who you are. You set your own goals. The only thing you can control is how hard you work to achieve those goals. Don't sell yourself short. Be kind to everyone. Because, you should be kind to everyone, but also because you don't know what production assistant might be running the studio years from now. Or that guy or girl who's getting you coffee might be running the company where you apply for a job years later. Many of the jobs that I have gotten in recent years are because of the relationships that I made early in my career. Also because I'm an incredible actor with range, but... The relationships didn't hurt. I'm kidding. Look, but honestly, let's not kid ourselves because a lot of it is luck. I won't refute the fact that I have been extremely lucky in life. But it's also true that you make your own luck. I worked hard for years before I ever got a break. For the first 7-8 years here in New York, it was always the other guy who got the lucky break. In fact, not that many years ago, I was around 30, late 30s, and I was ready to quit. I was going to go home, move home to Georgia, and build houses with my brother. I had gone through years of just missing out on jobs that would have changed my life, and it was killing me. And I called my manager and I told him my decision, and he pleaded with me. He said, "Give me one more year." And he knew I really wanted it, and he convinced me to keep going. And later that year, I booked a Clint Eastwood movie that changed my life. And I have been fortunate enough to be working pretty regularly since. I guess what I'm saying is, surround yourself with those people. Surround yourself with people who look out for you. My wife, my manager, my family, my friends, they convinced me not to quit. You know, they made me stay with it. You need those people when life gets heavy to help you stay strong in the face of adversity. People to remind you of your worth. You seek out those people in your life, and you be that person for the people in your life. You know, as I look out at all of you through my tiny screen in the comfort of my home, I'm reminded of what it's like to be young and wide-eyed, to have my entire life ahead of me, the uncertainty, the excitement, the anxiety. Embrace all of it. I'm envious of you. In these coming years, you are going to learn so much about yourself and the world. Be flexible. You know, just because you want something now doesn't mean that you're always going to want that. Be open to new paths. I started at Coastal Carolina in business, and I was convinced I was going to go to law school. And many of the actor friends that I came up with, they now have jobs completely different from the theater. They are all perfectly content. Happiness isn't found in the reward at the end. It's found on the journey. Now, I would like to share with you a few things that have helped me along the way. You know, maybe they help you, maybe they don't. Remember, you can do everything right in life and still end up watching your college graduation on your computer in your living room. But here they are. Okay. In work and in life, respect everyone for who and what they are. Travel. And once we're allowed to travel again. I have a wife and kids that I love beyond. I highly recommend starting a family, but don't rush yourself. And look, if you choose not to start a family, great decision also. But if you do start a family and you do plan to travel first. Because once you have kids, traveling it just gets so much harder. Just trust me on that one, you'll see. This is really important. Never settle in love. Never settle in work. And never settle in life. That is so important. Be a good person and fight injustice when you see it. Get involved in your communities because I'm telling you, giving is so much more rewarding than receiving. What else? If you can afford it, eat healthy and take up yoga. Trust me, your body will eventually revolt if you don't take care of it. Find enjoyment in the little things. Every day, find moments to laugh. Sing out loud, even if it's just in the shower. And dance. Maybe not in the shower, though. That's it. I wish you all the best, and I hope you all remain safe. My heart goes out to anyone who's sick or has family members who are sick. These are trying times, and we will get through them, and we'll be better for it. So, that's it. Congratulations. Go celebrate, just not within 6 feet of someone else. All right. Shows up.
And now the moment you all have been waiting for. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the people of the state, acting through their representatives in the General Assembly and the Board of Trustees of this university, and on the recommendation of the faculty thereof, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended, which entitles you to all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. I now have a special request for members of the Coastal Carolina University class of 2020. Graduates, no matter where you are, will you please rise? If you are viewing this ceremony in your cap and gown, I ask that you move your tassels from the right side to the left to signify your status as a graduate. If you are participating today without a cap and gown, I hope that you will take a bow, give yourself a pat on the back, or celebrate with your friends and family. You are officially a graduate of Coastal Carolina University. Congratulations.
Hello, I am Barbara Ritter, and I'm Dean of the Wall College of Business Administration. Congratulations to all of our business majors graduating in the class of 2020. Certainly, this is a graduation that none of us will forget. You may not be facing the ideal circumstances and forced to walk across a virtual stage today, but this will likely be the most memorable graduation of all of our lives. You are earning your diploma during unprecedented times that will challenge you to apply each of the lessons learned through experiences inside and outside of the classroom at CCU. When I was teaching, I would tell my students that were facing difficulties with their teammates and working on projects with multiple right answers based on the decision-making processes used to get there, that it is best to practice these skills now in a classroom where all that matters is the course grade. And certainly, the lessons will be much more difficult if you see them for the first time in a real-world situation. Dealing with ambiguity and being able to think critically to filter out extraneous information is a skill that is now direly important to your future in a very real way. In addition, now you face a real-world scenario where you will have to adapt your interpersonal skills to a virtual environment so that you are just as effective as you would be face-to-face. Professionalism, tact, timeliness, and technology skills are all things you practice here as a student so that you can shine in this regard as an alumnus. You have these skills. You have practiced them in each of your business courses. Breathe in that confidence and draw upon it to make informed decisions about your future. In every crisis, there is opportunity. What that means to you is something only you can determine. The transition from college student to the next phase in your adult life is always a momentous time. And this time is made even more important by the choice now in front of you, enabled only by the contextual environment of worldwide events. You have a choice. You can choose to embrace the new reality and capitalize on the opening for innovation in every facet of how people live their lives. I encourage you to take this rare chance for real change on a global scale to do good. To become the leaders that shepherd in a world that is safer, healthier, and a more just place. As the college graduates shaping the next generation of our society, you have a real opening to catapult positive change with widespread and long-lasting effects. And as you go forth, always remember that the network of faculty, staff, and friends that you have built over the years at CCU, well, we have your back. At this time, theater faculty member Christy McIntyre will announce the E. Craig Wall Senior College of Business Administration candidates for degrees.
Sarah Mohammed A. Alaziri. Taylor Powell Daniels. Jamie Lee Hambleton. Anna Brooke Howard. Lucas John DePofi. Heather Amanda Edwards. Mark Allen Griffin. Anthony Shane Hodges. Heather Amy Marsh. David Allen Martin. Jillian Paige McKenzie. Joseph Anthony Orlando. William Robert Lavelle Port. Evan Sloan Rabun. Hannah Nicole Sanford. Catherine M. Scott. Tara Michelle Squires. Bryce M. West. Charles Shibley Williams. Taylor N. Yarborough. Zachary Russell Zahn. Gonzalo Eduardo Achando, cum laude. Christopher Michael Adekes. Chase Jordan Adkins. Abdulrahman Mohammed Alamri. Dylan Thomas Amble. Lorenzo Anderson, Jr. Ryan Mitchell Anderson. Nicholas Lester Antonioli, cum laude. Natalia Joy Antonucci, magna cum laude. Kelsey Morgan Antunes, magna cum laude. Michelle Lynn Arnold. Bryce Daniel Alfo. Alfia Babali. Mackenzie Lee Bame. Colin Joseph Banks. Joshua Mark Barber. Javaris Montrell Barnwell. Brody Walter Barr. Zachary Joseph Bartz. Corey John Baxley, cum laude. Jaquan Denzel Beckett, magna cum laude. Jolene Abe Belvin. Houston Massey Bennett. Corey James Bergeron. Lauren Rebecca Behrman, cum laude. Jared Anthony Bibb. Alexandria J. Bills. Grayson Lee Bishop. Zachary James Biggin. Najee Raisha Boozer. Kane Michael Brady, magna cum laude. Angel Marie Brennan. Colin Pierce Brewer. Mark Anthony Brewster, Jr. Calabria Lynn Brunson, magna cum laude. William Thomas Burns. Michael Joseph Burris. Curtis George Bush. Brooke Shannon Butler, cum laude. Reagan Grace Calvert. John Hardy Campbell. James Douglas Carr. Craig J. Carroll. Nicholas Casaza. Dingyao Chen, cum laude. Grayson Taylor Clark. Jaden Middle Clayton. Hesmari Kotzi, magna cum laude. Lane McMichael Collins, cum laude. Tyler Connors. Taylor Nicole Cook. Ryan Michael Copens. Valera Cummings. Samuel Reed Cuozo. Neve Zachary Daniels. Yasmin Dominique Dash. Kylie Ann Decker, magna cum laude. Andrew Joseph DiMalo. Stephen James DiMartino. Athena Doan. Hannah Lyra Dooley. Patrick James Dunphy. Kevin Andrew Edwards. Aaron R. Elliott, summa cum laude. Ben Kell Evans. Danielle Gabriella Evans. Jessica Dawn Evans. Madison Marie Farr. Tyler James Farr. Connor Michael Fenn. Brian Thomas Fields. Kate Ann Fitzpatrick. Ryan Christopher Flegel, magna cum laude. Daniel Kevin Fleck, magna cum laude. States Jackson Fort, magna cum laude. Victoria Wellens Fox. William Robert Gamble, Jr. Jared Shannon Gansey. Zach Gardiner. James Briggs Gask, magna cum laude. Caitlin Ann Gatchell, cum laude. Jordan Reza Ghaffari. Talisa Renee Gilbert. Tyler Joseph Gilden. Tanner Benjamin Ginn. Bradley Joseph Givens. Aaron Colleen Golden, magna cum laude. Ashley K. Gordon. Savannah Elizabeth Graham, magna cum laude. Charles Franklin Gray III, magna cum laude. Eden Roland Green. Krista Shanae Griffin. Savannah Lynn Griswold. Brittany Rosemary Hall, cum laude. Cameron Woodrow Hauser. Michael Dennis Hayes. Malik Rashawn Heyman. Haley Ashlyn Heimbach, cum laude. Stephanie Maria Christina Henning, summa cum laude. Jorge Hidalgo, Jr. Elizabeth Diana Hosner. Brittany Michelle Ingram. Nicholas Anthony Izzo. Connor James Jackson, magna cum laude. Erin Rebecca Jackson. Brandon Chase Jacob. Teresia Caparos Fortunato Jeffcoat. Schaefer Andrew Jenkins. Austin Allen Johnson, cum laude. Eric Cullen Jonason, cum laude. Alexis Ray Jones. Michael James Capolis. Brianna Marie Keith, magna cum laude. Cassidy Nicole Kelly. Regan Marie Kearns, cum laude. Riley Patricia Kibbe, cum laude. Jordan Elise King. Oliver Brooks King. William King, cum laude. Rachel Kylene Kerberger, cum laude. Samuel David Carilla. Haley Ray Klotka. Brianna Faith Colick, cum laude. Jamie Lee Komorowski. Madison Paige Corey, cum laude. Lindsay Taylor Kirkella. Blaine Diana Lagriga. Kylie Ann LaMagdalene. Noah Greer Lamb. Samantha Jean Lambert, cum laude. Tyler James Lambro. Julianne Nancy Larkin. Joseph Salvatore Laval. Alexander Nathaniel Lavode. Taylor Verona Lisi, cum laude. Christopher Leclerc. Tyrone Love Lemons. Changyang Lee, magna cum laude. Natshua Lavetta Livingston. Madeline Renee Long, cum laude. Kimberly Del Carmen Lopez. Aiden Quinn Lowell, cum laude. Megan Lynch, cum laude. Grace Townsend Samuels Macmillan. Theodore Joseph Manfrey, Jr. John Michael Marsilio. Jillian Martinelli, cum laude. Nicholas Owen Martin. Kyle Stephen Massoud. Brendan James Matthias. Anthony Ray McAfee, Jr. Joshua Ethan McCaslin. Armani Latrone Marcus McDaniel. Sarah McKenna McAvoy. Patricia Caitlin McKenna, magna cum laude. Kaylee McLiverty, magna cum laude. Grady Austin McMahon, cum laude. Andrew Ian Meeks. Anna Mercieri, cum laude. Bailey Nicole Mikos. Dylan Charles Miller. Michael Alexander Miller. Stephen Randall Miller. Max Dean Molta, cum laude. Tyrone Bradley Mondi. Matthew S. Montebleau, cum laude. Joseph Michael Moran. Cassandra Gabriel Morgan. Jordan Lynn Morrison. Zakia Muhammad. Zaber Al-Nahian. Michael Bruce Norman. James Christopher Nussbaum. Paul Anton Odendahl, magna cum laude. Miles Deo Olufemi. Veronica Owens, magna cum laude. Madeline Marie Palmer. Natalia Christine Panos. Amber Jill Papas. David Arthur Pastorek. Ria C. Patel. Hannah Elizabeth Persick, magna cum laude. Eric David Pesela. Angel Pham, cum laude. Ryan Coral Platt. Caitlin Riley Porter. Madeline Susan Prince, magna cum laude. Miles Tanner Prosser. Brianna Pulio, magna cum laude. Connor Ryan Pica. Christopher Daniel Rabin, cum laude. Emily Nicole Rice. Jesse Michael Ream, cum laude. James Alexander Roach, cum laude. Cameron LeVar Robinson. Andrew Brian Rush. Jared Patrick Rushton. Carl Salerno. Jacob Quinn Santos. Nicholas James Schaefer. Eugene Donovan Seegers III. Sabrina Maria Seidel. Suniva Hron Sigurdsvindottir, magna cum laude. Michaela Danielle Simpson. Quintarius Antonia Simpson. Lucy Ray Squarek. Kristen Louise Slovic, magna cum laude. Destiny Lucille Smalls. Jamie Nicole Smith. Michael O'Boyle Smith. Francesca Raven Solano, cum laude. Casey Spielman. Ryan Brennan Springer. Evan Joseph Stankovitz. Michael David Stearns, summa cum laude. Jeffrey William Stewart, Jr. Brooke Ariel Lee Stillwell. Michael Brandon Stockdale. Carolyn Jean Stoltz, magna cum laude. Catherine May Sugg. Liam Thomas Sullivan. Ji Sun, cum laude. Elizabeth Lee Swanson. Tiana Swearinger, magna cum laude. Cody Matthew Sweeney. Zaharijeh Zak Talik, cum laude. Nicholas J. Taskalos. Zachary James Taylor. Kyle Cinque Taylor Laird. Buddy Ray Thompson III. James Samuel Thompson. Alexa Nicole Tiefel, magna cum laude. James Anthony Tilton. Morton Frederick Tim, cum laude. Austin Michael Todd. Michaela Quinn Todd. Avery Olivia Towns, cum laude. Christopher John Townsend. Jacob Jordan Veknoras. Renee Vander Weeden. John Macon Van Dyke. Danielle Heavener Vanderhoof. Richard Paul Vickery III. Shane Joseph Vigiant. Darius Lamont Wade. Christopher Sadler Ward, magna cum laude. Leslie Fitzroy Watley II. Nathan Wentworth. Patrick Robert Whalen, cum laude. Zachary Joseph White, cum laude. Trevor Thomas Whitaker, magna cum laude. Rontiana Nicole Willis, magna cum laude. Jana Margaret Wilson. Austin David Wise. Gray Thomas Waldman, cum laude. Eric Allen Wallowitz. Jordan Wong. Heather Nicole Woodruff. Garrett Wade Wrightson, cum laude. Tristan Taylor Wyatt. Candace Renee Young. Zhenpu Yu, summa cum laude.
Hello, class of 2020. I'm Diane Sanders, class of 2005 and executive director of alumni relations here at Coastal. And I'm excited to be the first to say to you, congratulations, alumni. You made it. It is truly an honor to be a part of this virtual celebration with you. More than 36,000 alumni from 50 states and numerous countries all around the world join me in congratulating you on your hard-earned achievement. You are now a member of this exclusive group that we proudly call Alumni of Coastal Carolina University. Members of your alumni family include today's keynote speaker, a 3-time Olympian, and the head coach of the 2016 College World Series National Championship baseball team, just to name a few. We look forward to your rise to greatness. As a new graduate, we are providing each of you today with a 1-year membership into the Coastal Carolina University Alumni Association. Through the Alumni Association, you will discover many opportunities to be involved with your alma mater. I encourage you to visit campus as often as you can, attend local or regional alumni events, and please know that your Office of Alumni Relations will always be here as a resource for you. In the years ahead, I hope that you continue to stay connected to Coastal as alumni, as volunteers, as ambassadors, and just proud supporters. By continuing to engage with CCU, you will pave the way for those who come after you. Your active participation will strengthen this already thriving university. As alumni, you make us proud and show the value of a Coastal Carolina University degree. Be proud and celebrate this day and your great accomplishments wherever you are. And remember, you will forever be a Chanticleer and a member of Teal Nation.
As a final note to our graduates, I hope you continue to embrace the spirit of the Chanticleer as you journey ahead. And I hope that your time spent here at Coastal, the impact you've made, the achievements, and the challenges you have overcome has provided you with irreplaceable experiences, lasting friendships, life lessons, and motivation to make a positive difference within your communities and in the lives of those in your midst. The alma mater will now play, guiding you into the next part of this celebration. Congratulations, class of 2020. Go Shants!
We come to you to lead our search and learn to reach beyond ourselves, below the earth, beyond the stars, to form our dreams for better years. Here, green and bronze in nature light, sweet pine forests that surround us, ocean waters that sustain us, reflect your standards that prepare us. May we return in thought and care to share your promise of enrichment and celebrate and sing our praise for coastal Carolina.
Great.
This is a
Yay!
long time coastal.
Huge congratulations. You did it.
Graduation day.
Congratulations.
Yay, everybody. Good job. Congratulations.
You
Keep
held
it
this
up.
together.
Wish we could be there face
I
to
have one senior graduate, and want to give a big shout out to Trevor Pokins.
Keep on going. Keep moving.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Good job.
Go get it.
We actually get to say something to you, and I'm just so proud of y'all. You persisted. Keep it up. You're doing a great job.
Just want to congratulate you all. What an accomplishment.
Congratulations.
To see you on this special day for you.
Congratulations, everybody. And I also want to say that always come back home.
Congratulations for being an alumni now. Yay!
Just being able to get through this semester is a huge accomplishment that you should be proud of.
High five. Let's keep it up.